Welcome back. USM Professor Mike Madsen joins me on set to discuss USM's alcohol screening and intervention program. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about the BASICS program and kind of break down the basics of BASICS?
Sure, absolutely. The BASICS program is an evidence-based prevention program, a harm reduction program for college students. We have over 20 years of research to suggest that college students drink.
Right.
And approaches such as education and scare tactics don't seem to work. So the BASICS program is a 2-session program where students meet with a counselor. We gather some information about their drinking, how that might be having an effect on their life, and then we provide them some feedback in the second session. And really the goal of that is for the student to use that information how they want to. Right. And then we can provide them with some information about some things they can do to protect themselves when they drink, should they want to do that.
Okay. Is Southern Miss the only school with this type of program, or do these programs exist elsewhere?
They exist elsewhere. The first place to start this was the University of Washington up on the West Coast. And there's a handful of programs throughout the country that implement this. However, there was a recent article published back in 2010, earlier this year, that said that out of all the campuses in the United States, very few of them are actually implementing programs such as these. And in Mississippi, in the state, Ole Miss has a program, and Mississippi State is trying to implement a program, and we have one too. So.
You recently conducted a survey of USM students' drinking habits. What were some of your major findings?
A lot of different things. One good thing is that compared to national norms, USM students in our sample drink a little bit less than the national norm. So that's good. However, our rates of heavy episodic drinking, which people refer to as binge drinking, are equal to national norms. So there's a lot of people going out and really kind of partying it up, even though a lot of people don't drink on a regular basis. One of the things that really stood out to us, though, is that compared to national statistics, USM students in our sample drink and drive a little bit more than the national samples.
That's disappointing. How does USM compare to other schools in regards to the actual drinking and driving accident rates?
Yeah, we didn't collect anything about accident rates, unfortunately, and that's a good question to ask in future studies. However, we have seen some anecdotal information around here. A couple of years back, we had somebody that was killed in a drunk driving accident on campus. So we have seen some of the anecdotal stuff with regards to that. Don't have the statistics on how many have actually gotten in accidents.
Okay. How has the program been successful in educating people to make better choices when it comes to drinking?
Yeah, we're in our second year right now. We just started our second year in September. Okay. And what we're seeing from the feedback that we're getting so far is that students are making an effort to try and protect themselves, some of the new strategies that they've learned on how to protect themselves when they're drinking. I've gotten some feedback from different offices on campus to suggest that they've heard students talking a little bit differently about their drinking, and they're also experiencing some different behaviors when they go out drinking. So, so far it's looking pretty good. Some of the initial data we have suggests that after students go through the program, they at least reduce their drinking and increase their protection of themselves a little bit more.
How does the program convince students to not drink and drive?
That's an excellent question, and that's really the premise behind the program, because our job is not to convince them to do anything.
Okay.
And that's where traditional programs kind of run into a little bit of a hitch in the giddy up, is they try to force something down somebody's throat with regards to, you have to go to AA, you have to call yourself an alcoholic, things like this. Our job from the outset, we tell them, we're here to simply collect some information and to provide some information back to you, and it's your choice to do what you want with that. And the goal there is to build their own internal motivation to change their behavior.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, for enlightening us on that. When we come back, we'll bring you music from a local Mississippi musician, so don't go anywhere.